Thank you, thank you. May I say it is a great pleasure to address you all tonight. Thus I begin. Dear Wolf, Falcon, Dog, and Miss Margaret Sanger. Surprise! I'm in Vienna. Although it should be no surprise to you, for I've always been quite fascinated with Dr. Sigmund Freud. I found his practice on a little cobblestone street. I marched directly into his secretary's office and said, Frau Mittelschmerz, I would like an appointment with Dr. Freud. She looked down her long nose at me and said, Fräulein, one does not simply demand an appointment with Dr. Freud. I said, I am a dear friend of Miss Margaret Sanger. She sent me personally. I needed not say a word more. At the name of Margaret Sanger, the door swung open as of its own accord. There was Dr. Freud smoking a cigar. He gestured me to a velvet chaise lounge. Thus, we were alone in the room together. We had an hour's session, at the end of which he readily agreed to be my boyfriend. We left his practice hand in hand. We went to tour a nearby castle with a beautiful fountain in the center where a vendor was selling ice cream. When he reached down to scoop chocolate for Sigmund, I smelled a stench of burning rubber. I knew it all too well. The ice cream man was none other than Dr. Wolfensberger. I said, Griffin, Ernestine, der stinking man! And Sigmund sprang into action. We wrestled him over to the fountain and dumped his head underwater until he was gasping for breath, and then lifted him to the center of the fountain and sat him straight onto the spout so that the water shot up his asshole and out his mouth until his innards were washed pure as the mountain spring. Though he were also dead. Sigmund and I celebrated by eating all the ice cream in the cart. We have enjoyed our time in Vienna, but now we're eager to be moving on. More importantly, where are all of you? I hope this letter finds you in the midst of a delicious adventure. All my love, Leopard.
You know about your brother.
What do you know?
It's from the way you talk about him.
Ain't much to tell.
You can tell us. Or tell Margaret Sanger. Offer it up.
Okay. Okay, I will. Dear Margaret Sanger, here is a nice, tasty sacrifice for you. I walk into a one-room apartment in Brooklyn where my brother is sleeping and tie a rope around his neck. Then I drag him across the room and out the window and hang him up above the street. Then I pull him back inside the room and cut off all his clothes with a knife. Then I tie him to the bed. Then I take the knife and I carve a commandment on his body, the only commandment, that you shouldn't hurt people, that you shouldn't hurt people, especially not your sister. You could have woken up one day and said, I'm not going to hurt my little sister today. Not your own sister. Not your own sister. Not your own sister.
So, do you feel pure as the driven snow?
I feel strange.
Oh,
I just never knew a priest could be like that.
I told you. I told you. So what did he say to you this time?
I confessed my sins, truthfully, and then he told me about Joan of Arc and how she was proud like me, but that her pride was also a gift from God, and that it only mattered that she used it the right way. But even aside from that, it's how gentle he is. I didn't know a man could be like that. When I came here, I thought men were like weapons and women were like wounds, that nothing stops them from getting in if they want to. That's what it is to be a woman. To be born already split open. A carcass.
I don't know about all that. I like being a girl just fine. It's much more fun. We get to wear dresses and long hair. Personally, I think men are missing out.
What do you think women will be like in the future?
They'll have the vote. They'll wear trousers.
What do you think they'll think of us?
I think they'll envy us.
I think they'll think we're stupid. That we didn't know anything. But they'll know everything they need to know and have nothing to fear.